Two things can be true at the same time. One, Tamar is everything that her sister said she is. Tamar is everything that the world thinks she is. Whatever y'all think about Tamar, she is. Tamar is manipulative. Tamar is chaotic. Tamar is unpredictable. Tamar does do too much. All of that is true. But on the same side, two things, right? Toni, Trina, and Towanda are everything that Tamar says she is too. Both things are true. Everything that Tamar says her sisters are, liars and manipulative, and they don't like her and they gaslight her, all of that shit is true as well. As viewers, we have to learn to be here with it. We're in the middle. We don't know these people. We don't. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We are here today to talk the Braxtons Season 2, Episode 5, The Queen and I. Before we get started, if you guys are brand new to the channel, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, hype the video. Y'all got some hypes left for the week still. Hype the video, and then leave your comments down below. I got to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to so many of y'all. My video from last week did crazy. Did not expect that whatsoever. And shout out to the 423 people that subscribed from that video. That was so unexpected. So if you watched it and you enjoyed it and you're back from this week and you want to be in the number with those people, hit that subscribe button. We got to go, y'all. We're trying to get to 50,000 by the end of the year. It's audacious. It's audacious, but it is free 99 to subscribe. All right, let's talk about the show. So, the comments were a mixed bag. Okay, there was a lot going on in the comments. I just want to stress that I'm not on either side. I don't care about these people like that. I don't know them. This is their business, right? I'm just providing commentary on my opinion. One thing that I have noticed is if you are a person that does not like Tamar for whatever reason, which, I mean, truth be told, she ain't did nothing to none of us personally, but if you don't like her for whatever reason, I've noticed that it is very hard for people to acknowledge when she is right in a situation and when she has been wronged. There were several things that went on at that round table that Tamar was done wrong to. She was wronged in those situations. And I saw so many comments, not just in my comment section, but just across social media, where there were people that were like, yeah, they should have called the police on her. Why? For pulling hair? Like, let's be so for real. Y'all will call the police on your sister for pulling your other sister's hair and kicking her in the leg? Like, I think some of y'all got to take a step back from just not liking Tamar and like look at the whole situation in totality. Toni started all that. Toni jumped up first. Toni got in Tamar's face. Trina 1000% did take her hand and move Tamar out the way. She didn't push her, but she did put her hands on her. Towanda did not refute stealing from Tamar. They made a mockery of Tamar's mental health. All of that happened. Now, on the reverse, Tamar did put her hands on Trina, which was unwarranted. And Tamar did knock over a glass of water. But we can't just sit here and say, oh, it was all Tamar. That was all four of them at that table. That was all four of them. All four of them whatsoever. I think whenever somebody sees that Tamar is correct in a situation, y'all like to say, oh, y'all are taking up for Tamar. I'm not taking up for anybody. If she's wrong, she's wrong. But I'm not going to flat out say that somebody is wrong about everything when I know that they aren't. Okay, so we start off, we're going to pick up where we last left off at Towanda's bridal shower. So Jamie, who I guess has made herself the HBIC when it comes to the ladies of distinction, is saying how she's going to take the ladies of honor to Ladies of Honor School. So what, you about to go check her sister? You about to go check Trina for what? For what? So they can both turn and focus on you? Shut up, Jamie. So Trina's in her confessional saying that she was late because she needed to check on Vaughn, and that's a really good excuse. We find out Trina don't have panties on under her dress. Trina outdressed Towanda at her own bridal shower. Truth be told, the dress that Trina had on with the petticoat, that is how Towanda should have been dressed. You let your sister outdo you because you weren't in the proper theme. Again, I liked the Bridgerton theme. I thought it was cute. I just felt like Towanda didn't execute her outfit the best, right? So Trina's outside peeing because apparently back in the day, that's how they used to do. They used to, pee and I just feel like we hear them talk about Trina and Towanda so much about how Tamar is gonna declass stuff and she's gonna mess everything up. But you okay with your sister pissing in the grass? Cool. Um, so they decide to play a game where we've all been to a bridal shower where you design a wedding dress made out of toilet paper, whatever the case. Towanda was making it seem as if everything was beneath her. Girl, we saw what you wanted to wear to the wedding. Got a little too much dip on your chips, sis. Okay. Sean shows up with some of the other groomsmen. I'm assuming Vaughn looked sick as fuck. Vaughn probably should have stayed home. His eyes were red and yellow at the same time. I don't even know how that happened, but Vaughn looks sick on this day. They pass out baby Birkins to everyone. And Sean gives Towanda a gift. And then in her confessional, Towanda mentions how she hates that Toni was not there. One thing that I do not care for that Towanda has a habit of doing is when she does stuff like that, that is Tawanda's dog whistle way of excluding Tamar to make Tamar feel away. Because Tamar's going to watch the episode back, right? So for you to be like, I hate that Toni's not here when your other sister isn't there either. And for me, it's the right? The audacity, the guarded temerity, the gumption, the nerve of Towanda to have an attitude with Tamar when you owe her money. You owe Tamar money. You were stealing from her credit card to pay your phone bill. Talking about some, let's call the police. Yeah, let's call the police. You got a mugshot already. Let's add to it. Stop it, Towanda. We see Tamar at a rehearsal for her show. Apparently, WeTV did not get the license for any of their songs. Disastrous. A concert with no songs. How dreadful. We pan over to Trina. Trina is a real estate agent now. So what happened with Bar Chicks? Did Bar Chicks just not work out? Like, what's the deal? Because she had the brick and mortar, she had the party bus. Did it not survive COVID? Because that makes sense. But I thought Bar Chicks was still a thing. I haven't been in Atlanta in years, so I don't know. Towanda and Miss E show up at her office, and Towanda gives her a jug of vodka and some other little gifts. Trina don't need no more liquor. Trina don't need no more liquor. And like, if we gonna keep it a buck, y'all should be having the same conversation about weight with Trina that y'all had with Towanda. Why don't we focus on getting Trina some help so Trina's not self-medicating with food and liquor? So Towanda tells Trina that she noticed that she's been a little off since the bachelorette trip to Tulum. She said, you've been present, but you're not present. We're here, but we're not here. They should have brought in Rashida to, break it down for us. Trina just looks tired. She looks run down. She does. I've told y'all how I feel about all that thick-ass food that her and Vaughn be eating over on the TikTok. I just watched a clip the other day, and I don't know if Trina was making like a hamburger or something, but she was and she putting mustard on it. And I'm like, come on, sis. Come on, sis. We have all had a dish that we be like, damn. I had some food last night, right? That I was like, this shit was fucking good. But I'm never, I guess. Trina looks tired. Trina tells them that Vaughn has super high blood pressure and congestive heart failure. She says she found out in Tulum. Now, here's the thing: Towanda couldn't be bothered with this because it's not about her wedding. So Towanda was like, "Oh wow." I'm like, "Damn, do y'all care or not? You're asking her what's going on with her. She's telling you what her husband is going through with his health, and all your only response is, oh, oh, okay." So Tawanda lets her know, "You could have told me." Trina's like, "No, because it's your wedding stuff." And she's like, "I get it, but you could have told me." We find out that Toni is going to fly Trina and Tawanda out to Miami for her concert to make it up to Tawanda that she didn't come to the bridal shower. So we pan over to Toni. We find out that Toni is working with a bit of a skeleton crew. I mean, she only has 4 background dancers and no singers because of the situation. Remember, Angie Stone passed away a week before. They shared a lot of people. So Towanda is in Miami but didn't come to the concert. Trina is saying that it's because Towanda got that she flew over here perfectly fine, but she was so exhausted that she couldn't come to the show. But you weren't too exhausted to pack and get your ass to the airport for that free plane ticket to get to that free hotel for your free trip. But you were too exhausted to come and sit backstage with your sister. Okay. To me, it comes across as petty. It seemed to me that Towanda was on some, "You didn't come to my thing, I'm not going to come to yours." That's how it came across, to be quite frankly. Because how is like you were exhausted. So we see Toni performing. Apparently, Toni or the record label or the festival didn't give clearance to WeTV so we can hear a little bit of the music. We couldn't even get a piece of a song. I mean, damn, if Toni is singing a cappella, we can't get, I guess. Trina comes out and does her hand. I said Trina in his hand. And she sings Breathe Again a little bit with Toni. Would have been nice to hear, but I guess I'll just have to, put on the album myself. All right. So we see Toni, Trina, and Towanda. They are going to go out on a yacht for the day. They have some charcuteries and some drinks and other type of stuff. And as usual, Toni was late. I don't think it's cute or funny when somebody is habitually late because it means that there's a lack of respect that you have for me. And I kind of feel like the fact that they just make a joke out of Toni being late instead of really holding her ass to the fire, that bothers me. That bothers me because how many times are y'all going to allow Toni to be late and it's just okay, it's okay. You're Toni Braxton, the superstar living legend. No, Toni, it's a lack of respect. Because Toni's not late when she's meeting up with business people. Toni's not late when she's hanging out with her other celebrities' friends. She's not late for that type of stuff. Toni is not known for being late and unprofessional in the eyes of business. Toni's late with y'all because she don't respect y'all. So Toni is arriving. It's super windy out. Her hair looks very windy. Look like she walked through some wind. And she's asking Towanda how she feels. Heard you were sick last night. Couldn't come on stage with me. Tawanda's like, "Yeah, since I got hit by a car, we don't care about that anymore. We see the cast. We don't care about that anymore." But Towanda is saying since she got hit by that car, she's been going nonstop. She's tired. Toni said, "That's how I feel all the time when it comes to events with y'all. Always tired, right?" So the captain comes and lets them know that it's too windy to go out. It's going to be dangerous. So they decide that they're going to go to dinner. And Toni said, "I'm going to be on time tonight." And we get a montage of Trina and Towanda singing Tamar's song about Toni's always late. Okay? Remember Tamar saying that back in, I want to say, season 1 of Braxton Family Values. So we get Trina and Towanda singing it in their confessional, and then we get a little montage full of clips where they all were singing it. We see Tracy with that short. Remember Tracy had her hair short and blonde. It was so pretty on her. We get a little clip of that. So we pan over to Tamar. Tamar is meeting up with her music director. We're already at the end of the episode. Not a lot happened. Not a lot happened this episode. But Tamar meets up with her music director, executive producer, whoever he is, Phil. Tamar thought they were at a Mexican restaurant, but it's Italian. That's okay. You didn't know. You didn't know. So Tamar is saying that because of her sisters, she has not been able to put the bottle down. No, that's because of you. We are in control of our own emotions. We are in control of our own, that's because of you, okay? So she said that she typically does not drink the month before she goes on the tour, and if she has like a one-off show, she won't drink for like 2 weeks before that. Tamar is a soprano, as we know, and she said that's bad for her vocal cords, okay? So Phil is telling Tamar that she needs to heal the relationship with her sisters or move on. Tamar said, look, I have tried, and I always get pressured to come back. And I'm going to be real with y'all. We know how that goes with people. When you decide that you're not going to be cool with someone anymore, or when you decide that you're not going to be friends with somebody, or you decide that you're going to cut off a family member for whatever the reason, the first thing that people do is try to make you feel guilty for it. But y'all have been friends for so long. Y'all, but that's your sister. Like that's what people do. Tamar said that her family is toxic and she has showed up this season to help her heal her sisters. Okay. Now, she feels that her sisters are not there for the same reason. We got to be real with this. Now, do I think Towanda is there to heal the sisterhood? I do not. I 1000% do not. Towanda has shown no interest in Tamar whatsoever this season. That's one. Two, do I think that Trina would be interested in healing a relationship with Tamar? I think she would, but she's always going to have Towanda sitting right here, telling her not to. And I don't think Toni gives a damn because as we saw, Toni is still cool because after Tamar was, up on stage doing the absolute most with Birdman at the Verses, we saw that they did get on FaceTime with Toni. They're clearly still beefing because Trina Braxton was up under K. Michelle's comments, I guess, hyping her up. So Tamar said that, well, on top of that, before I move on, Tamar, I mean, you clearly came in with this season, I don't want to say with bad blood, but you came in with this season with the situation with Ashley, y'all's niece, and we know that Gabe is like one of the focal points of that. So I can't say that Tamar, you came in 100% wanting to heal your sisterhood either, okay? So Tamar said this is what happened. Toni got up like she was going to flip a table. And we get a flashback. Toni jumped up in Tamar's face first. Toni 1000% did, which is why I didn't understand why Trina felt the need to get in the middle. Toni was ready to fight. What, do I think she was going to really fight her sister? No. But if you jump up and somebody bigger jumps up too, that's on you, right? That's on you. So Tamar is saying that Trina got a lick in. I don't think it was Trina getting a lick in. I think that Trina was 1000% just trying to separate y'all. But at the same token, I feel like if you wanted to separate Toni and Tamar, because like she said, Tamar is bigger than Toni, then she should have came behind Toni and pulled Toni back. But for Trina to try to squeeze in between, and she did take that hand and move Tamar over. Yeah, Tamar is going to take that away. But I do not believe that Trina was trying to get a lick in. No. Tamar feels that no matter what she does, when she does take a step back from her family, she always comes back for her sisters to help them. And that's interesting because Towanda is saying how this, Tamar's behavior has been years and years and years and years and years. If you feel that strongly about Tamar, why did you accept the money for your house? Why did you accept that money? Why did you accept the car from Tamar? I feel like you can't have it both ways. So Tamar gets emotional and said that it's kind of too late and it doesn't have to be like this. Tamar does not think her sisters like her. I don't think they like you either. And I don't think you like your sisters outside of Toni. Meanwhile, the other three sisters, Toni, Tamar, and Towanda, are out to dinner. Toni showed up late. They had already ordered their food. And Towanda, of course, wants to talk about the wedding. We don't care about that. So Toni is asking if Tamar is coming. Towanda said no. Toni wants to talk about Tamar's behavior. What did you guys think about it? Trina said that it was unacceptable. Toni is like, well, I was upset with myself for, even letting it get to me. I should never got there myself. Toni, you were upset because Tamar clocked you on the lie. Now, I saw this in the comments. So many people are misunderstanding. I could be on purpose. I don't know. Toni did lie. Tamar sat at that when they were at the table. Tamar said, Toni, you wanted to have her on the show. The show is the Braxtons, y'all. The show is the Braxtons. If Tamar and Toni are talking and Tamar says you wanted to bring Ashley on the show, you're talking about the Braxtons, right? Toni flips it and said, I told her not to go on your podcast, or I said that your podcast is a chitlin circuit. And Tamar was like, yeah, you did say that, but I'm talking about the Braxtons. Did you not say it? Did you not say it? Toni refused to answer because Toni did not want to admit in front of Trina that she wanted Ashley to come onto the Braxtons. Toni not saying anything is Toni saying, no, I never said that. That's what that is. We know what insinuations are, y'all. So when Toni got into the confessional and Toni was like, did I say it? Okay, I'm not going to lie. If I said it, then I said it. Toni lied, y'all, and told on herself in the confessional. And that's why I said it's so hard for some people to really be like, okay, like I said, Tamar is everything everybody says she is. But she's not always wrong. She's not always wrong. So Trina is saying that, I just kind of feel like as sisters, there are certain things that I would never spew out. And Toni kind of looks at her and then Trina quickly backpedals. Not you. Not you. No. Clock Toni too, because Toni said some shit at that table that she shouldn't have said either. Toni was the main one. Mental health is serious. Toni said some shit that as sisters should not have been spewed out as well. But because, like somebody put in my comments, Trina and Towanda treat Toni as a superstar and not as their sister, the way Trina backpedaled that, and not you, Toni. Yes, you. What Toni gonna do? Tell her about herself. I guess. So Towanda said, you know what? You get tired from the same behavior with somebody over and over and over, and I'm not willing to accept it anymore in my life. And that's facts. If Towanda wants to put up this hard boundary with Tamar, then do it, but then stick to it. Because if you had this hard boundary, right, with Tamar, and you feel that Tamar is this, that, and the third, then when y'all were sitting at that table, you should have paid Tamar dust. You should have ignored Tamar. If you have a hard line in the concrete, you said, you should have never sent Tamar the thing to be your maid of honor. You should have never invited Tamar. Like, I feel like Towanda puts up the line when she wants it because you want Tamar's money to pay for some of this stuff, right? You want Tamar's support for your wedding because you're saying that your sisters, you're saying it plural. Trina's been there. So you're referring to Toni and Tamar have not been there for you the way that you feel they should have been for your wedding. But you keep saying that it doesn't make sense. Like Towanda is talking out of both sides of her neck. You want Tamar around when you're benefiting from it. But when you are not benefiting from Tamar, you don't want her ass around. Tamar said that it has been years. It has been emotional, verbal, and now physical. I was with Toni. What got physical with you? Towanda is saying Tamar threw water on me. Listen, we're not going to play these games, Towanda. We're not going to play these games, Towanda. Tamar didn't throw water on you. Tamar knocked over a glass in your vicinity. You didn't get wet whatsoever. You didn't get wet whatsoever. I just feel like Towanda is finding the smallest things to make a big deal out of when it comes to Tamar. We have seen far worse. So Trina and Towanda are saying that Tamar blamed them for being served and they have nothing to do with it. Now, we know that the brother, Mikey Braxton Jr., is the one that served them. But like I said, and I'm going to say it again, play in somebody else's face. I am not going to believe that Trina and Towanda had absolutely nothing to do with this situation. So we are to believe that Trina, Towanda, and Mikey have never had any conversation and they didn't know. And I know that Antavius is sitting on some YouTube channel talking about all this stuff. And I guess my thing is, why are we believing this lawyer is being 1000% truthful when you sitting up there running down to the YouTube to talk about a court case? Why does Antavius even feel emboldened to sit up here and talk about it? And the way that he's talking about it is crass. To be real, no one with a vagina served you. Like, is that how lawyers talk? Like, let's be so for real. Let's be so for real. So Trina said that Tamar hit her. Or no, Trina said that Tamar said she hit her. Tamar never said that you hit her. Tamar said you put your hands on her, which you did, okay? Trina is also saying that she did not push Tamar. You didn't push her, but you definitely put your hand on her and moved her out the way. You got to be so for real about that, Trina. I'm not saying that Trina has to be like, yeah, I pushed you, because she didn't. But if I'm standing here, right? And somebody comes over and says, excuse me, you moved her out the way, Trina. Now, Tamar did pull your hair and kick you. Facts, okay? So Toni is saying, should we have a conversation with Tamar? Towanda's not interested. So since Towanda's not interested, Trina's not interested either. Towanda said that she has been telling Tamar how she feels about all of this stuff for years. So then why are you working with her? Why are you filming with her? If Tamar is so far out of your realm and you don't want Tamar anywhere around you, and you've been telling her this over and over and over, why are you filming with her? Why are you working with her? Because we all know that if Tamar leaves this show, no one else is going to watch it. This show cannot survive with Trina and Towanda because we're not interested. We're not interested. Y'all know that because hell, Toni barely films. So we know that if Tamar takes a step back from this show, there is no show. Whether she's on her showing her ass or not, without Tamar, there is no show. So that's my thing. If Towanda wants to put a hard stop and cease all relationships with Tamar and feel that that is my sister and I'm going to love her from a distance because we have to remain sisters, but I'm not going to kick it with a skateboard or Nathan, fine. But then don't use her so that you can get work with this show. So Towanda is saying in her confessional that Toni should stop trying to be the peacemaker. And I agree. Toni, stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stop trying to be the peacemaker. But I feel like Towanda should also stop putting Trina and Toni in the middle. If you got a problem with Tamar, you take that shit up with Tamar. But don't try to turn the sisters and sway them one way or the other to go against Tamar with you, because Tamar's not doing that. Tamar's not telling her sisters anything about you. Not that we're seeing on camera. We see more scenes than not of Towanda talking to Trina or Towanda talking to Toni, basically trying to sway them to her side and away from Tamar's. If you want to put a hard line in the sand, don't fuck with Tamar no more. Leave her ass alone. Don't do the show with her. Refuse to do the show with her. Refuse to film with her. Refuse to do all this stuff and then see how well you do. Because again, if Tamar leaves the show, there is no show. There's nothing to watch because we don't care about your wedding. This show is predicated on y'all beefing with Tamar. That's the essence of the show. That's the essence of the Braxtons. That's all it's been about. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.